Welcome to Kerr 9000's Horror House.
Okay, so the film I'm here to talk about right now is called Evil Nanny, and I watched it on Amazon Prime. But it wasn't until after I'd watched it I found out that it was an American made-for-TV movie. Now, something that caught my eye straight away is that when the film was starting up, it said it was based on a true event, or true events. But it never told you what events, and, I got to the end and you kind of think, I wonder what this is based on. Well, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start now by telling you what this story is based on. There was a woman called Diane Stretton, who was a 64-year-old woman who allegedly terrorised a family after she refused to move out of their home. The reason she was living in their home was that she was a nanny, and part of her pay was actually to be allowed to stay in that house. Apparently, the situation became an awful nightmare because the nanny began threatening to sue the family if they didn't turn on the air conditioning, and she'd also report the family to the police saying that their television was too loud and it was disturbing her. She even wanted them to leave their house for several hours at a time so that she could enjoy more privacy in the room she was effectively squatting in. When this story broke into the news in 2014, Stretton was dubbed the Nightmare Nanny, the Squatter Nanny, and the Nanny from Hell. Well, when they've adapted this to a film, they've kind of forgone the 64-year-old, and what we have is a young girl. And this isn't the only way things get more intense. You see, instead of just having a bit of a moan and complaining about the air conditioning, this girl nearly lets the kid drown and then proceeds to play loud music, move things out of their house, all while getting to stay by playing the court system off against itself. I won't go any further into it because I don't want to spoil the film. I think it's worth a watch. I was actually really pleasantly surprised hearing this was a TV movie because I think standards-wise and story-wise it was actually good enough just to be a normal made-for-cinema film. Not the best film in the world, no, but pretty darn good. It does a really good job of making you ask what's going to happen next, and you feel for the family. And it makes you think how horrible it would be to be in this situation where you're stuck with a tenant in your house who can eat your food, walk in and out of your rooms, and generally just get in your way and make your life a living hell. And yes, even if they've stretched the imagination glands very wide and very far with this by changing so much, it is an excellent idea for a film. And it's uniquely scary in a way that only stuff that could happen in reality is. I mean, we all know we're not going to turn the corner and see a vampire. But you could let somebody stay in your house who then won't leave. You could find out that your next door neighbour's a serial killer when he's knocking your head into a brick wall. That gives this sort of thing a deeper fear. Okay, if I was going to rate this film, I think I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a very decent film. I'll forget it in the not too distant future because it's not a stone cold classic, but it's certainly a pretty darn good use of your time. Okay, it's Kerr 9000 signing off saying keep on watching those scary movies, boys and ghouls.